Hey guys, let's get into this, and before I get into anything, I'd like to mention, shout out to my co-host, that is Aspen the Bulldog. She is obviously my beautiful little bulldog girl, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Chapter 1000. So we start off way on the 5th floor, and it's just a panel of Luffy with like a surprised face, and it says Chapter 1000 Straw Hat Luffy. So, as I said in my predictions, I did kind of think it was going to be like a Luffy centric chapter where pretty much he's going to get to the top floor. It didn't make sense for this to be the placement of a Rocks Pirates flashback, because obviously there isn't enough time. A Rocks chapter flashback should most likely be at least a few chapters, because it's gonna have to somehow get to the part where Marshall D. Teach Blackbeard becomes either a student or the son of him. So there's a lot more to that story than one chapter. So we're on the 5th floor. All the Tony Ropo are beat up, and there's the Mink tribe, Inuashis, Musketeers are there, and they have beat up the entirety of the Tony Ropo. So Luffy can just run along and pass them. Luffy thanks them, calls Shisholian the wrong name, and then mentions that he still hasn't forgotten about how they were willing to protect Ryza with their lives. And of course, we've talked about so many times like how loyal the Minks are and how good they are as people. They are obviously some of the best, most moral characters in One Piece, and they are very well loved by everyone for that reason. Just look at Carrot, how much everyone loves Carrot, and look at how impactful Pedro's sacrifice was to the story. It obviously wasn't the most impactful thing, but it has caused a lot of things up to this point. Although, let's be honest, Pedro should have at least killed him if he was going to sacrifice himself. Like, one arm, that's not really like a win at that point. Now we cut to the next scene. It is Queen and King in full zone forms, both biting into Marco, and they can't do any damage, and they're like, what kind of power is this? Is he invincible? Meanwhile, for some reason, Queen seems to be a cyborg and literally just like has an outstretched neck. It has washers and stuff. It looks like he's got an extendo neck. Like, I don't know what's up with Queen, but obviously Queen has done a lot of engineering to himself. He's like their own version of Frankie. Anyways, Marco literally just throws Zoro up to the roof. And of course, Zoro's flying. He can't control himself. Like, you could have warned me first at least. It's awesome. You gotta love that when they just decide to throw something quirky into that. Then we cut back to Yamato and Momonosuke. And Momonosuke is realizing that Yamato has Momonosuke's logbook. She thought that she would never meet Momo again. And she said that she'll give it back to him, in that she found it on the riverbank, and that somebody who was in the castle at the time had gotten it out to the riverbank to try and protect it. And then she mentions that he was born on Whitebeard's ship and then moved to Roger's ship. And now I just want to get into a little tangent. Momonosuke's a badass. Like, think about this. Momonosuke, born on Whitebeard's ship, second most famous pirate ever, maybe the most badass pirate ever, who knows. Then moved to Roger's ship. He went to Laugh Tale as a baby. Momonosuke went to Laugh Tale as a baby. And then he was brought back to Wano. Obviously, he's the son of Kazuki Oden, so that kind of makes it very hard to live up to that. But he got back to Wano. He got threatened by Kaido, hung up over the edge of the castle, just like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna drop you over here. He escaped that. He managed to live. Traveled 20 years into the future, which is crazy, obviously. It's not like anyone else is traveling into the future I mean, the other samurai did, but like, not many people have. He was friends with Luffy, the king of the pirates, before he was king of the pirates. And he was kidnapped by Caesar, experimented on. He met Vegapunk, the smartest scientist who ever lived, given an artificial dragon devil fruit by him. And then he was threatened by Kaido of the Beast again. And Kaido literally ended up threatening to kill him because he wouldn't renounce his name being Kazuki Momonosuke. Now that we're over with that, let's get back to the actual point of the video, which is the chapter review. And it shows a picture of Law doing his rum and Kid and Killer. And it says that in the logbook, it says that in 20 years, there will be a new group of young and powerful pirates that will arrive. And then she says, that time has come. She said that she was thinking that Ace would be one of them, but when she first learned of his death, she knew that couldn't possibly be him. But she remembered back to a flashback, and it goes back to another Ace and Yamato flashback where Ace and her are drinking, just having bottles of sake. And Ace is talking about how his brother is going to be king of the pirates. And Ace is like, the first time he said that, we had a good laugh, but I won't allow others to do so. We believe in him. So Ace is saying that him and Sabo believed in Luffy and his ability to become king of the pirates because he truly believes it. And then we cut to Yamato jumping up, and she's like, I would never make fun of him. And she's thinking, the king of the pirates said the same thing. But she doesn't say that. And she says, those exact words were in Kazuki Oden's journal. There is a certain big figure that also said the same thing. So obviously I'm not going to make fun of it. Your little brother is amazing. And then Ace is like, oh, I see. A big figure, huh? Not bad at all. I'd love to have a drink with him and Luffy. And Yamato says they would have gone along just fine. And then Ace is like, huh? What do you mean would have? And she says, he is already dead. And Ace is like, what? He's dead? Then it just cuts to Yamato finishing Ace's Viva card and handing it to Ace. And she explains that will be the way that they find each other again one day. So she takes a piece of it, essentially explains how to use it, and then it cuts back to Yamato and says, Ace's Viva card faded 2 years ago, but she learned about what happened through the news as well. And then it cuts back to the scene of Luffy running up the stairs, and Yamato's narrating it, in that Luffy was Ace's brother, and that Ace was Roger's son, and that Luffy was making a name for himself as a big pirate in the world, and that Momonosuke brought Luffy here of all people. So then we see Luffy punching through the door and arriving on the top floor, and we see Kid, Killer, Zoro, and Law all standing there. And of course, Kaido and Big Mom are there. And Big Mom says, all I want is his head, talking about Luffy, of course. And then it's a big, beautiful picture of Kid, Killer, Luffy, Zoro, and Law all sitting next to each other. And it just says, in about 20 years is the next generation of powerful pirates that will lead the new era. They will arrive to the new world, and if I were to die, they will be the ones capable of taking down Kaido. And it literally sends chills up my back to read that. It's just such an integral part of the story. And then the next scene is just Kaido and Big Mom. And Kaido looks at Big Mom and is like, Lin, guess what this kid said to my face? He's just a, and Linlin responds, he's just a run. He had the same haughty attitude when he faced me as well. He destroyed my castle. You owe me an apology, Straw Hat. And it just shows Luffy angrily walking up to them. And he walks right past them and walks to Kinemon. And Kaido looks at him and says, hey, I dare you, say it one more time, kid, what you want to become. And Luffy just walks to Kinemon and says, you hanging in there, Kinemon? Sorry for the delay. And Kinemon is seriously hurt. He's just coughing. All the red scabbards are just beat up. We finally know what happened to them. They all are beat up. We see literally a spread of every single one in different forms of beaten. It didn't look like any were dead, so that's good, at least. And Kinemon pretty much says the only thing that they regret is that they didn't beat Kaido and that they wouldn't dare to show their faces in the afterlife to them. And Kinemon says to Luffy, I beg of you, please save Wano. And Luffy says, of course I will. It's my friend's country. And Kaido literally appears behind him with his huge Kwambo, ready to hit him. And as he goes to swing it, Luffy tells Kid to use his rum and make Kinemon and the other scabbards disappear. We cut to the scene, and of course Kaido swings his Kwambo. Luffy jumps straight up to dodge it. And then we just get an incredibly, look of frustration on Kaido's face. Luffy prepares a new attack. Get ready for this. He just pulls back, gear third, Gummo Gummo no. And in between we have Momonosuke crying, saying he wants to take down Kaido, and a bunch of the red scabbards flashbacks. And Luffy just slamming Kaido in the head. And I'm very sorry about that. I was way too excited, obviously, when I hit that. And then we cut to the final scene, and it's Gummo Gummo no, Red Rock. Boom. Kaido's face is on fire. Linlin is like, how did you let him take you down so easy? And Luffy looks at him and says, because I am the man who will become King of the Pirates. Of course, Kaizuko Owaza Oni. Did I do that wrong? Something like that. I need to learn more actual Japanese. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, thank you very much. And thank you, Aspen, of course, for being my perfect co-host. She's sitting back snoring. I'm sorry about that. She started halfway through. But anyways, have a great day. Remember to leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe, comment, tell me what you think I can do better, and have a great day.